Okay, and here is my wheat. Honey, we back in the day. I almost said back on the plantation. I was never on the plantation. Thank you, Lord. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Alicia, and on today's video, we are going to talk about how my hormonal imbalance inspired me to start my own bakery. Since my last full-length video, I have had some transition, which I think was in November or something. I don't know. But I've had some pretty interesting transitions in my life, one of which has been me dealing with my health in a way that I never imagined. Before I get into the bakery, because I know we ended off on entrepreneurship and I finally have something that I feel like I have to offer, I'll tell you in my own definition what hormonal imbalance is. Simply, it's just I don't feel the best. A lot of the times I don't feel great. Sometimes I can't sleep. Actually, a lot of times I don't sleep very well, or I just feel constantly bloated. My cycle has been irregular, which is a new development in the last, 2025? So since the end of 2022, it's been irregular, which is not normal for me at all. And just like hair loss, all kinds of things that I never imagined I would be dealing with at this time. And I thought that I was living a pretty healthy life, but come to find out, it's not just one thing. It's not just what you eat. It's not just working out. It's not just getting enough sleep. It actually encompasses all of those things. The first sign of anything with my cycle was in December of 2022. I had been in my home for less than a month, and I hear what sounds like water, and I was like, it sounds like it's raining on the inside. And I race upstairs, and I was washing clothes, which I had washed clothes maybe twice already. And so I was like, why is it flooding? And I call the builder, a person who had been helping me the whole time, and I was like, it's flooding. He's like, it's okay. Just check to see if the hose in the back of the washing machine came out. And sure enough, it had come out, and I was like, well, why did it come out? And he said they probably didn't secure it, and none of us caught it. So I had to put the hose back. Then I had people come, and I was just so afraid. I was like, oh my gosh, we're going to have mold and all of this stuff. And he assured me there would not be mold, which there is not. From that whole experience, my cycle had started maybe an hour or so before that day. Before that moment happened. And immediately from the stress, and I know it just wasn't from that particular stressful moment, but that was the straw that broke the camel's back. From that moment, my cycle just stopped. And it did not come back until I went to the doctor in March, and they ran some tests, and they said that I had PCOS, which I had never heard of, which is polycystic ovary syndrome. I had never heard of it before that moment. And so they gave me something called progesterone, which I also had never heard of. And my friend, Misty, who has been on this channel before, she works as a pharmacy tech, and she told me that it was birth control. And doctors have been trying to get me to get on birth control since college, and I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't like prescription. But essentially, it just gave me a placebo effect. So I had to take that for 4 days, which I was pissed because she did not inform me that it was a form of birth control, because I had already told her before I did not want birth control. They try to give you birth control for every freaking thing, and I hate it. But anyway, besides the point. So she gave me that. Cycle came back, but I could tell that it wasn't real, because I know my body. I have had a normal cycle every year of my life up until that point in 2022. So my stomach, even when I was over 200 pounds, like 220 or something like that, I didn't have a big stomach. It wasn't like the flattest in the world, but it was definitely flatter than my butt. And I was like, what the heck is happening? And I was just bloated, and I was so exhausted. And I called because I could see the results online before I actually spoke to my gynecologist. And it wasn't even my gynecologist who told me. It was the receptionist or whomever answered the phone. And I said, hey, I just saw these results. I don't know what it means, but I'm supposed to schedule an appointment to come in. And she said, oh, that means you're infertile. And I was like, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, I had to burp. I said, excuse me. And she says, yeah, it means you're infertile. I was like, how? Like, I don't understand. And then I don't remember what she said, but I scheduled an appointment to come to my gynecologist. And she explained to me what it was. All she told me was that it makes getting pregnant harder. But she really didn't. And she told me that my androgens were high, which I had no idea what that was at the time. And she also said that my testosterone was high, which I also didn't know what that was at the time. And she told me some symptoms is like if you have excess hair growth, like body hair growth. And I was like, well, I've always had a mustache since I was a little girl, but nothing abnormal. Like I've seen other women. I didn't have like hair growth here or in any abnormal place that women don't get hair growth. But still, she didn't really break down to me what exactly was happening to my body. She just wanted to prescribe me birth control, which I was not willing to do. But then she also told me that it meant that I had cysts on my ovaries, which I learned is not true. It's not cysts. It is when the eggs don't release, they look like little cysts. So it looks like a little pouch of cysts on your ovaries. So it's not actually cysts, it's just the unreleased eggs. And like I said, since all of this happened, so that was in March of 2023 when she told me I had PCOS, I have been doing so much research and studying to the point that I actually have taken a whole course on women's hormones with this woman. Her name is Dr. Mindy Pelz. She has such great resources and a wonderful network to help women understand and essentially get a master's degree on your own body. But anyway, yeah, so she told me my gynecologist now sent me to get an ultrasound. Here's another thing that she did not inform me of. I only knew of the little ultrasound that people put on your belly. Honey, I didn't know nothing about the vaginal ultrasound, okay? Let me tell you, there's this wand. First of all, you already know going to get a pap smear in general is uncomfortable, but this freaking wand is all I think it's called a wand. Maybe I'll put a picture of it here. But it's long. It is very hard and plastic or whatever. I don't know. But it was so invasive. And when I got to the facility where they were administering the ultrasound, the woman was so shocked that they didn't tell me that it was a vaginal ultrasound. It was such a traumatic experience for me that later I had a Zoom call or something for something I was working on later that day, and I just told them, I was like, I can't make it. It was terrible. And for some people it might not be, I don't know, but for me it was horrid, okay? So I'm going into this thing not knowing what the heck is happening with my body, not understanding the language that they're using to describe what is happening, not understanding that this is a hormonal thing, because we really aren't taught about our hormones growing up. And then even when you go to the doctor, they aren't talking about your hormones. They're just trying to prescribe you with medicine and not telling you why. So I have the ultrasound and it came back that I don't have cysts on my ovaries. I don't have a polycystic ovaries. I don't have polycystic ovaries. And the only thing that she did tell me was that my uterus was backwards. I did not know your uterus could turn, but it wasn't like a big deal or anything. She did tell me too, though, I did not know. She was like, you got gas? They can see that you have gas or if you have a lot of poop. I didn't know that. So anyway, Then I make an appointment with my general practitioner and I tell her what the gynecologist says. And I said, but I don't have cysts because at the time I didn't know that it's not actual cysts. We've already been through this, okay? I didn't understand, but I told her, they said I don't have cysts on my ovaries. She said, well, if you don't have cysts, then you don't have PCOS. But also she ran blood tests to see because one of the most common symptoms of PCOS is insulin resistance. And she did a urine test to check my insulin as well as blood. And both of them came back within normal, actually maybe a little bit too low. So I was not insulin resistant. Another thing, I don't really know about the androgen and the testosterone. I don't really know what those results were, but every result that I had that came back was in normal range, except my vitamin D was extremely low. So she told me I had to take vitamin D. So I've been taking vitamin D. And then my cycle was coming back for maybe a month. Yeah, I think it was coming back for maybe a month or 2 or 3 months after, but I was still feeling so fatigued, so sometimes lethargic. I was working out. They had told me, don't eat red meat, don't eat pork, don't eat anything with sugar. So I'm literally, I paid for a meal plan this service to give me a meal plan. So I'm eating this meal plan, but I'm still just starting to feel worse and worse. Hard to get out of bed, just have no energy, but I'm still working out 6-7 days a week because I'm thinking, well, I just need to work harder so that everything will go back to normal. But then she also told me too, my general practitioner, she told me that because I was working out so much, that also could cause my cycle to be irregular because she said athletic women's cycles are sometimes irregular. But I'm like, first of all, I'm not that athletic, okay? But also I have been working out. I've had a trainer since I was 10 years old. So I'm like, I've never had that. I'm still just like, okay, I've got to keep searching. So I get through 2023 and it was kind of spotting here and spotting there. And I'm still just becoming even more bloated. My hair is so brittle, but I'm thinking that it's the products that I'm using. So I'm changing the products. I'm doing wetting my hair more. So maybe that's why it's so dry. So I'm doing all of these things, just trying to figure out what the heck is going on. None of it is working. Oh, excuse me. I don't know why I'm burping. I did just have a salad. It was divine. And some guacamole. So fast forward to May 31st, 2024. I go to get my hair done and I knew that my vitamin D was low, but I didn't know, the doctor didn't prescribe me with vitamin D or anything. So I'm just taking these, whatever I can find at CVS. So then my hairstylist, she actually told me, she was like, your vitamin level is really low just from looking at my hair. So I start researching different types of vitamin D. And actually, before I went to get my hair done, maybe a week before, I went back to my general practitioner because my cycle had stopped again. And she was about to form her lips to tell me, well, you need to stop. I was like, Heffa, I'm not eating, but like once a year at this point. I'm working out constantly. I have no energy. There's nothing else that I can do. So do not tell me to not eat something else. Don't tell me to work out more. Don't tell me, because I'm doing everything that I know to do to get it together, okay? So her nurse practitioner, she came in and she was like, she is the person who even introduced me to the idea of hormones. She told me that she was actually in some sort of certification course in order to learn about women's hormones. And she gave me, now I don't remember what the supplement was, but she recommended a supplement to me. And she also told me to take really high doses of vitamin D for a certain amount of time. And she told me, I think it was like 10,000 IU, I think I was taking like 5 a day or something like that. After that, I got retested and all of this stuff. The results came back. Everything was fine. But what I've since learned, if it's not just completely off the charts, sometimes the results from the doctors will look normal. So I start to implement the things that the nurse practitioner told me. Everything changed. My hair, look, I know my hair looks really short, but my hair is actually really long. I'm pretty sure it's to about right here. So I did all of that, but then that's when I was on YouTube. That's when I came across Dr. Mindy Pelz, and she had this book called Fast Like a Girl, and it essentially taught you how to fast for the different phases of your body, of your cycle, how to eat, the kinds of foods to eat for the different phases of your cycle. So I think that that is a good turning point to how I started a bakery from all of this that I've been through in the last how many years? 2022, that was not quite 3 years ago from when this happened. So like 2.5 years that I've been dealing with all of this. Don't you dare fall. Can you? Don't fall. Okay, so as I'm exploring, right, I'm trying to understand what the heck is happening with my body, why I'm having these cravings, why I have no energy. But then I didn't tell you, so I started fasting with the book because she has these different fasting protocols. So if you have PCOS, if you are having memory loss, if you are having adrenal fatigue, all of these things, she has different fasts in order to help you support those. And so I don't remember which one I did. Maybe I did like the 30-day reset or something. I don't know which one I started with, but within 30 days, my cycle was back for 5 months until because of how competitive and sometimes prideful I can be, I did this fast. And one thing I did learn is that for women, for menstruating women, let me just clarify that. When I say menstruating women, I mean women who still have their cycle, not perimenopausal, not menopausal. I just want to clarify for several reasons. Okay, anyway. Yeah, so what I learned is that when you still have your cycle, so premenopausal, you should not fast within the 10 days leading up to when your uterine lining is going to shed, when you bleed, okay? So I learned that. Well, I decided to participate in a fast, a 7-day water fast. The week my cycle was supposed to come on, bad idea. Very, 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 very bad idea, okay? Because let me tell you, that was January, the first week of January of this year, 2025. And my cycle just came back. I think I spotted a little bit in March. And then, what is this now, July? So I believe I had a cycle at the end of June. Yes, at the end of June. And it wasn't normal like I'm used to. It definitely wasn't like it was for those 5 months that I did the fast, and I was following the different fasts that she offers in the book. That it was normal, like it had never gone off. And that one fast that I did out of pride and competitiveness screwed me up. Okay? I'm having hot flashes. Okay? I'm bloated. I'm gassy. Can't sleep to save my life or nobody else's. So I am just miserable, trying to get my body back. But the thing is, it's not like you can just shut life off. Things in life still happen. We still have to keep going. We still have to keep producing in a certain way. You still have to work. You still have all of these things. You can't just, maybe if I had the room and the time to just completely dedicate to this, to getting my health back in order, then it wouldn't have been so long. But I really screwed myself up, and I knew it, but I was still like, I'm going to make it through. I'm going to push through. That was very dumb, extremely dumb. So don't do that. what I have had to do recently, and I'm going to get back to the cookies in a minute, because it's not only going to be cookies, but anyway. So what I've had to do is prioritize my health. Because my life is changing so much, I told you all on one episode that I think I'm involuntarily retired from the film industry, at least in the capacity that I was working in it, which I'm not terribly sad about. I'm not sad about it at all. I just would have done it differently, more slowly. But the Lord said differently. So it's just this battle of like not allowing myself to be depressed and sad and stuff, while also trying to juggle a lot of other transitions that I've experienced in a really short amount of time, which it's not bad. It just physically, it doesn't feel good a lot of times, and sometimes emotionally it doesn't feel good. But really just having to prioritize my health and well-being for my own sake, but also for the sake of so many women around me. Because when I was taking that course, it was just to help myself, to just really understand what the heck was going on with my body. Not realizing that before I even finished, I would encounter a woman at my church who's telling me about her 10-year-old who is going through things like Hashimoto's. And if you don't know what that is hypothyroidism. So her thyroid is not working. It's not operating. It's not producing what it needs to produce. Her vitamin D levels are extremely low. Her insulin is extremely high. Not realizing that I would be talking to this woman and a 10-year-old is experiencing it. But not only is her 10-year-old experiencing it, she has a lot of inflammation in her body, rheumatoid arthritis, which is inflammation in your body. She is stressed. So her cortisol, her daughter's cortisol was extremely low. Her cortisol is extremely high. So, and then just after I was telling people about what I was doing, then they started saying, I have PCOS, I have endometriosis, I'm dealing with fibroids, all of these things that I'm like, oh my gosh, so many people are just walking around this mug suffering and not really knowing what to do because it's not something that we learn about. So, yes, that is, I don't know how I got there. But all of that inspired me to start a bakery, because one thing that I do know is not realistic for me is that I'll never have a treat again. And sometimes sometimes people will make you think that you can. Now, of course, if it's literally killing you, you should probably stop. But my goal was to find a way to be able to not deprive myself, because I know long-term is not realistic. Even when I first started, I was very focused on losing weight after college, which is how I got from 220 down. I think my lowest was like 159 or something. And now I'm between, honey, I'm just trying to get back to them 160s. But you know, life is different now. Even I was more focused on losing weight then, but what I did know is that I was not going to deprive myself of, like, at the time I loved Snickers, and Walmart actually sold a little, not even the snack size, they were skinny and they were about this size. So whatever that, maybe it is snack size, I don't know. But the snack size ones are still kind of thick in there. So they had those. So what I would do, I would get maybe one. For one, I stopped keeping anything that was tempting in my home. I never was a junk food person, but I loved Flaming Hot Funyuns and chocolate. Always loved those two. So I wouldn't keep it in the home. So if I wanted something sweet, I would have to physically go out and get it. And if I did have one of those little Snicker things, because I would buy one at a time, they were only like 50 cents at the time, I would go and I would buy one and I would freeze it, and it would be what I had to look forward to at the end of the week. So I'll be like, every day I'm like, ooh, that Snickers gonna be delicious and it's gonna be frozen, it's gonna be good. So, because I knew it was not realistic for me to never have a Snickers again. Now it's realistic for me to not have a Snickers again because of, and I think I'm looking at these rhinestones. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't look crockeyed. It is realistic for me because I know all of the crap that they put in it, all of the chemicals, all of the dyes, all of everything that they put in it is horrible for us. So it is realistic at this time, but honey, I love a good treat. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I love a good treat. So I decided, because I had so much time on my hands, to just start baking. I had never baked for a large group before. It was really just like friends and family or whatever. I was volunteering at church and we were cooking for this organization. And I asked them, could I bring some cookies? Because I have been trying to perfect a chocolate chip cookie for literal years. When I say years, I mean since like college. I have been trying to get the texture that I like, the flavor that I like, all of these things. And I finally got it, which actually came from a mistake. It came from my baking powder was expired and I couldn't figure out why. If I'm putting baking powder in this cookie, why does it keep flattening? So then I Googled, but when it flattened, it caramelized so well. It was so good. So then I Googled and I realized that's why. So it was a whole thing. But I finally got the cookie right, the way that I wanted it. And I wanted to take some to this event and they told me I could. So, oh, my earring. Baked 200, packed them up, and we were handing them out to people. Then people started coming to the back and they were like, where y'all buy those cookies from? And then someone said, Alicia made them. And then people started requesting me to make them some cookies in different flavors and stuff. And I was like, I don't do this. So I politely declined. I was like, I don't do this. Then some of the people I was volunteering with, they were like, Alicia, these things are incredible. You really need to make this a business. Fun fact about me, when I was in college, I planned to go to culinary school after I graduated with my bachelor's degree, but I never went. Why? I don't know, but I didn't. But that was the thing. I wanted to go to culinary school. They encouraged me. They told me to call it Hallelujah Cookies. And then I looked up and somebody already had Hallelujah Cookies, but I also knew I don't just want to do cookies. I'm starting off with that, but I didn't just want only to do that. I started thinking and I started praying and I said, Lord, if this is something you are calling me to, then help me, like confirm it in some way. And he confirmed it in so many ways, I can't even remember. But one of my friends who owned a really successful bakery here in Atlanta, he sold it. And then I was talking to him one day and he was like, I got all this stuff. Do you need any of it? All of this equipment and stuff. And he just gave me, could be, I'm sure, a few $1,000s worth of equipment. He just gave it to me. So then I just started taking the steps. I got the cottage food license and I got, what else? I did a bunch of different stuff. I got my certification, like my ServSafe certification, to basically say that I'm a clean person and I know how to handle food and all of that. I did all of these things and the Lord just kept confirming. He just kept opening doors for me. And then my hairstylist, she put in an order and I was like, I'm not even ready yet. But what I did learn, and I'm sorry if this is taking forever, but I feel like you need to know, because where else do you have to go besides sitting here and watching this episode? Okay. So I was like, if I'm going to make this, because I was just at the time using regular sugar, regular everything, but it was tearing my body up because my body is just more delicate than other people's bodies. Do I have PCOS? I have no idea. One doctor says yes, one doctor says no. What I do know is something is off and it's hormonal, period. It's hormonal. It's hormonal. It's hormonal. Okay. So, I was like, if I'm going to be making this stuff, I've got to make it to where my body won't break down because I have to taste it. I have to taste to test the quality of it. That's when I started researching different ways to actually sweeten without using the highly processed sugar. I wanted a more pure flour, so that's when I learned about sprouted wheat. But then I kept researching and I found that I can actually mill my own grain. So I looked to see where the heck to get a grain mill from. And I come across this woman who is right here in I'm not in Woodstock, Georgia. She's about an hour from me, but it's not that far. But she has a whole facility in Woodstock, Georgia, where she has wheat. She has all kinds of grains that you can need. She has the grain mill. She has what's called sucanat, which is evaporated cane juice. It still has the molasses and the vitamins and the nutrients still intact in it. She has honey in bulk, like all of these things that you would need to bake. She has everything. And she also has the wheat. If I didn't already say that, she already has the wheat grain. So I decided to take a little trip there and test out how my cookies would taste if I did all of these things myself, milling my own grain, using the sucanat, which I also have to grind down because it's very coarse. It's not like you getting sugar in the raw. It is like dirt, almost very hard dirt. So I also was like, I want to use the purest ingredients. I don't use any sort of chemicals. I don't use artificial flavorings. I try to make it as hormone friendly and anti-inflammatory as possible. Obviously, all of our bodies are different. So some people are going to be able to take it. Some people, they are so insulin resistant that a cup of black coffee can cause their insulin to spike, or even a glass of water can cause their insulin to spike because typically their gut microbiome is off, or maybe they're having some issues with their liver. I don't know. I'm not a freaking doctor, okay? I'm just telling you the things that I've learned to where I just want it to be a service to people and not a hindrance. And also I know that for women, honey, we love our treats, okay? We love our treats. And if there's a way that I can make it to where it's still indulgent, still delicious, but also has some, I don't want to say health benefits because I'm not a health person, but just some sort of helpful benefit to you, some good benefit to you, then that is what I want to do. So now let's introduce, I wonder, should I introduce the cookie? Oh yes. So how we're going to do this, is I'm going to show you a cookie. Yeah, I'm going to show you the ingredients in it, okay? So first, we'll go with this baby here. Oh, this baby here is a cinnamon blueberry. I know it's kind of coming off green, but because I use actual blueberries, here, we'll put this here. I use actual freeze-dried blueberries. Whenever you bake something like a fruit or a vegetable, it's going to brown because it is natural. So it still has, this is a new one, but let me just take one out. This is a little freeze-dried blueberry. Okay, and it has cinnamon in it, which cinnamon is awesome for detoxing. It's anti-inflammatory. All of those things. I'm not going to go through all of the health benefits of different stuff, but yeah, this one is very good. The texture of it is kind of like, it's very soft, and this was actually an accident. So when I was using just the regular store-bought flour, it came out perfectly. It came out almost like a Play-Doh. And so I was able to roll it up. It was supposed to be like a cinnamon roll cookie. But when I started using my own flour that I was milling myself, it was more wet, which I have not figured out. I guess I could add more flour. Actually, no, I did try to add more flour, but it was still wet. And I was like, what am I going to do with this cookie? I don't want to just have just a cinnamon cookie. And my friend was like, put some berries in. And I was like, berries? And I was like, oh, I've been wanting to use blueberries. So I tried it and it's so good. It is so good. One of the best compliments someone has given me is when she tried it when I was first testing out with the grain, with the grain that I mill. She said it tastes so good, but it feels digestive. So like it's not just gonna sit on you. You can eat multiple ones, which I don't recommend that you are just sitting up eating a whole bunch of sweets in general, because there's also an order of that I have learned of which you should eat your food. We'll go through all of that in a different episode. But yeah, that was one of the greatest compliments. This one is strawberry. This is a fan favorite, right? So not only does this one has the strawberry powder. This is a powder. I don't want to open it. It's not open, but let me see. Is there any powder in here? No, this is something that I'm almost done with, but it's just some strawberry powder. Another thing that this one has in it, though, it has, am I going to be able to lift this? That's hard. It has coconut sugar, which I can't even see. Yeah, it has coconut sugar. So if you know anything about coconut sugar, I had to grind this up to get this texture, but it is the sugar of a coconut. I don't know. And I try to get everything organic if I can, and also local. I try to get it organic and local. So this one actually has coconut sugar and strawberry and, of course, my milled grain. Let's see. Let's go to salty vanilla. Look how pretty she is. She's cute, isn't she? Salty vanilla. So salty vanilla, let me tell you about the salts that I use, which actually I don't use. This is the salt that I use in salty vanilla, which is kosher salt because it's coarse. And she is a little bit salty, honey. She's got a little sass. But then this, I hope you can tell that this is what's called real salt by Redmond's, I think the name of the company is. But it's pink, and it's not the pink Himalayan salt. It literally looks like it has pieces of dirt. It's a very pure salt. It doesn't have all of the stuff in it. So I use this in every single cookie except for, well, really everything that I bake except for the salty vanilla. I use this salt. And then what's next? Oh, hold on. This is a minty cream chocolate sandwich cookie, aka maybe inspired by Oreo. Very good, okay? So with this, we use black cocoa. Dutch processed black cocoa. It is very dark. And I don't want to get it on my rug, but it is very dark. Can you see in there? I don't know that you can, but hopefully you can. It's very dark cocoa. Also, we use mint in it because spearmint is very good for people who have PCOS. So if you do have PCOS, you should have some spearmint tea. Try to have a glass or a mug of it daily. It's really good for you. The thing about this is it takes more time because I have to cut these things out. So it's just all of the ones that you all have just seen. These 3 are seasonal. These are the 3 we just did. These are seasonal, right? Okay. And then next we have, I was going to call this snack and turtle, because y'all know that woman. She was like, it's a snap and turtle. This is snack and turtle. This is actually a triple chocolate turtle cookie, I think is what I call it. And it has pecans. It's so good. This is my favorite, but it's actually not that popular. This strawberry one is very popular. People love this one. But I put a little homemade caramel in it. And in my caramel, sometimes I use literally just honey, water, and a little bit of grass-fed butter. All of my butter is grass-fed, which I will show you in a minute. It's all grass-fed, and I also use grass-fed cream because I put a little cream. This one I used with the honey granules. Oh, that's what I haven't spoken about. So this is sucanat, right? Hold on, wait, no. Pause. Let me see. This is honey granule, right? Which is sucanat, which is the evaporated cane juice, except they put honey in it. The reason that it's so light is because when I grind it, yeah, it changes color. But as you can tell, it is very like dirt. It looks like it's very coarse. So that is what I use to make the caramel sauce. What else is in here? Oh, and sucanat. Yeah, the sucanat. Let me tell you about sucanat, which I wanted to show you all, but I forgot I had ground it all up. So this is sucanat. And do you know how in the store, I'm going to put this down for a little minute. You know how in the store you might go and get like turbinado or sugar in the raw or something. So this is how this looks grinded. Is darker when it's not grinded. It actually looks a lot like the coconut sugar color when it's not ground, but is lighter when it's ground. I have some sugar in the raw here to compare. Let me see. So, if you can see this, okay, so this honey granule, this sugar in the raw, back here, honey granule, sugar in the raw. Sucanat is essentially this, it's just darker. This has honey in it. This one, you can tell, is translucent. It essentially looks just like regular sugar crystals, just bigger, like the ultra-processed sugar crystals, but just bigger. So yeah, that's the difference. So now for is there anything else I want to show you from that? Oh yeah, also in the turtle one, I use this kind of cocoa as well as a natural cocoa. So this is Dutch processed cocoa. The natural cocoa is a little bit lighter, but this one is not as dark as the black cocoa powder. It's still pretty brown, but it's darker than natural cocoa. And it's just a matter of how it is processed, which is Dutch. Unsweetened. So next up we have, and this is becoming a fan favorite, this is the coconut almond chocolate chunk. So this, as you can tell, it has actual flakes of almond, which, where are you, almond? And then I toast coconut chips. They are so good in this cookie. Where are the almonds? Girl. Oh, it's literally right here, oh my gosh. And then I also toast the almonds, some little sliced almonds in them. And this, the moment we've all been waiting for, is the chocolate chunky. This one here, people love. And let me tell you about both of these. These are 100% cacao. This one is Ghirardelli. The reason that I have to change them sometimes is because they're sometimes out of stock with the Ghirardelli, so then I'll go to the Kroger brand one, which is also just as good, but they are both 100% cacao, meaning they have no sugar. Literally the ingredients, organic unsweetened chocolate in this one, and in the Ghirardelli, it is unsweetened chocolate. So it is very bitter, which is good because chocolate is full of magnesium, especially the darker the chocolate, the more magnesium, iron, all of the vitamins and benefits that you get from cacao is going to be in it. So it's really good if at night or something you can't sleep and maybe you don't have any magnesium to take, or maybe you don't have or don't want to take melatonin or something, then you can have your really dark 70% or more dark chocolate piece of like a square or something, and you can eat that with some tea, and it should help you. It should help sort of level out your cortisol. What else is in it? It's called Enjoy Life, and the reason I got these are little mini chocolate chips. I also put those in there. They are vegan, and the ingredients include cane sugar, so these do have a little sugar in them, unsweetened chocolate, and cocoa butter. Those are the only 3 ingredients in this. But I got this one because a lot of the other chocolate chips, and I'm gonna put this down now. A lot of the other chocolate chips, they have more stuff in them. They have, probably some have milk, or some have like a soy or sunflower lecithin, which they are not bad, but I just wanted to have as pure and basic ingredients as possible. And this one has that. Hold the phone. So this is a local butter manufacturer. I guess that's what they would be called, but they're called Banner Butter. And like I said, I try to get things as pure and as local as possible. And this is slow cultured, grass fed, and RBGH free, which I can't remember what that stands for, but I believe it's some sort of antibiotic or something that they do to the animals that you don't want. Okay, so then this has the ingredients: pasteurized cream and live cultures. So it's just very basic. And I also use pasture-raised eggs in it, organic pasture-raised eggs. Like I said, I use as much organic as possible. Oh, I didn't even show you too, in the salty vanilla bean. In the salty vanilla bean also, we use this, which is a vanilla bean, which is not cheap. I think just this one thing is like 70 cents or something. It's crazy. Just for one. So, but I use this in the salty vanilla bean. And this actually is the second most expensive cookie that I produce. The first most expensive, which was shocking to me, is this one, because nuts are very expensive. And then the strawberry is pretty expensive too. Oh Lord, what did I think? I got some paper on here. By the way, nobody's gonna be eating these. Not even me, probably. These are just like pop cookies that I made. And yeah, so I believe that is everything. I did not expect this video to be that long, but I do want to let you know, if you would like to order from us, you can find us on Instagram at Hormonal Sweets, and you can send us a DM for anything that you would like to order, and I can send you a order form to be able to, an invoice essentially, to be able to order. We are going to have some of these. Let me show you the seasonal flavors. So these 4, so the triple chocolate turtle, the strawberry, the blueberry cinnamon, and the minty cream chocolate sandwich are all seasonal. People love that blueberry. The cinnamon blueberry, people love that cinnamon blueberry chocolate chip. Oh my gosh. And even the coconut almond, which I was shocked by, because I personally just like the plain chocolate chip, the plain chocolatey chunky one, but a lot of people really enjoy the coconut almond one. So yeah, if you want any, you could also find me on Instagram at Alicia D. Mitchell, or you can leave a comment under here and I can figure out how to get you a link to order. And we are going to have, by the fall, we're going to have more flavors out. I probably will keep it to about 7 flavors, but we're going to have different seasonal things because I still want it to be high quality, but also I want to add things like, how do we get some seeds in there? Because we are really not supposed to heat seeds up. So how can we incorporate seeds? How can we incorporate more herbs and teas and all of those things so that you can get as much nutrients as possible in your treat, so that though you're eating it, like for instance, the strawberry and the cinnamon blueberry, I will crumble it over my yogurt and that'll be the sweetener for me. But I'll eat that after I have like some eggs and avocado or something like that. So I want to make it to where if you want to have some of this for breakfast, you can. It's just a matter of how is everything else in your life. So I think our little slogan is that I put on Instagram is where your sweet tooth and hormones find perfect balance. Okay, so yeah, I'm very excited about all of this, and I'm excited for us to grow, and I pray that you all will grow with us and support us. And when I say us, I'm talking about me. I mean, this packaging is not cheap. Do you understand? Let me open this up for you. It's so pretty. First of all, look at the logo. Okay. And the reason that the logo is this way is 28 different treats, which at some point it's probably going to change. But it's 28 different treats for the 28 days of a normal cycle, a regular cycle. So between 28 and 32 days is like a normal cycle. And then on the inside, I like this little abstract H. It's so pretty. And then the butter paper down there, it has treats and it also has hormonal all over it. Can you see that? Very pretty. Very, very pretty. Okay. I'm excited also for this new season of life, this new chapter of life. I hope that you will follow along, and I'm going to have some actionable things for us to do together. So be prepared, bring your pen and paper next time, because we're going to have some things that we are going to do together. And I have made a commitment to be consistent. And if there comes a time where I feel like I need a little break or something, I will be transparent about that and not just disappear. Please let me know if there's anything that you are experiencing and you would like for me to address, because I'm also going to have people on who are more knowledgeable than me, but I definitely believe I have a pretty good handle on the very basics of stuff. So yeah, if you have any questions or if there's anything that you might be struggling with that maybe, I don't know, I can help you find a solution to it, then please leave it in the comments or email me at AliciaBTSBTL behind the scenes along the line. Yes, btsbtl@gmail.com, and we can get through this together, because ultimately that's what it's going to take. You need community around you when you are healing, and you need the right community around you when you are healing. And realize that and remember that healing is a journey, and that it is likely going to be a journey until the day that we all die. Okay, and that is all I have for now, and I'm so excited for you to be here next week. I will try to cut this video down as much as I possibly can, but if I keep a lot of this in, please, I thank you for watching up until this point, and I will see you later.